in terms of creators, you have the writers, the composers, the producers, and you have the singers, the rappers, the vocalists, right? And then you have a bunch of other instrumentalists, right? And for every single one of them, there are tools, rights, and ways to protect the parts you play in one song. Something that people have to understand is that in technical and professional jargon, we call a song a work. So when you write a song with a friend or producer and you put the song in music and lyrics, this is a work. Now, so the first part of the food chain, in my opinion, is the creators, right? And the creators are the heart of, or the blood of the whole system. If there's no creation, there's nothing to listen to, right? So as a creators, you are divided in two groups. Master Electronic, what up? As a creator, you are divided in two groups. You have the producers and the musicians, and then you have the writers and singers. So let's start with the writers and singers. The writers and singers, well, they write songs and they sing the songs. So the writer and singer can be the same person, like me, for example. I write probably 99.9% of my songs, and but I also write for other people. So if you are a singer, it means that your voice is what is fixated on the instrumental, on the recording. If you are a writer, then you wrote what the singer is singing. Now, your tool as a singer is your voice, and your tool as a writer is your pen. Now you have coexisting with these, you have the composers and the producers. Why the composers and the producers are not the same thing is because, why is this AC not turning on? I'm hot. There you go. Why the composers and the producers are not the same thing is because there's a difference between producing, which is building, I would say. If you take it in terms of architecture, right? The builders, the people who will put the bricks and build the house, are not the people most of the time who build the plans, who did the architecture. So the architect would be the composers, and the builders are the producers. And a lot of times the producers and the composers is the same person. But there's also a lot of times where you just produce, but you didn't compose, right? So let's say Malcolm Beats, for example, he's a producer, but he's also a composer, because the melodies that he produced, he does them himself, and he plays his drum himself. But you could have somebody that has the melody in their head, and they don't know how to produce, so they don't touch the machines. To give you an example, for example, if you take an artist like Nichols, a friend of mine, he produced a lot of songs, but actually he composed a lot of songs. Who produced the song for him was Thierry Dumergue or Ali Angel. And Nichols would be like, nah, do like this. Ding, 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 ding. And the guy would like, And so you compose, you say your idea, and the other one is playing or programming for you. You can also have, for example, Jean-Sébastien Bach or Mozart or Debussy, the classical writers. They're not touching the violins or the piano. They just hear, and they hear the music in their head, and they write it in a partition, and then after that they go find an orchestra, and the orchestra plays the music for them. So they compose, but the orchestra plays the music. So when you record those songs, the producer is the person who will organize everything so that the your composition becomes an instrumental that somebody can sing on. So in our world of home studios and people that do everything by themselves, usually the producer and the composer are the same person. But it's completely possible that it's not the same person. Let's say Muna's music is in Mozambique, and I send them 4 bars with chords. And I say, listen, those are chords that I did. I need you to finish this. So I'm composing my track. I compose my chords, and I don't want to produce the song. And I tell them, hey, go and finish. So they take my chords, I send them maybe by MIDI. They take my chords and they play a bass line. They put some guitars. They put some rhythm, and then they produce on top of my composition. And maybe because they add some composition, they add some things, some notes, they turn it into a full song. Maybe we share the composition, right? So they become the producers, or we can be co-producers. If I add some stuff, I program some stuff. But if I was not a producer and let's say I just know how to play piano, and I send them my idea as a demo on piano, and then they produce the song, they become the producers and I'm the composer. So then, or we can be the co-composers. So then all this is people arrange themselves, they decide how to do it. So that's the creation part of